I want somebody who is kind, respectful.
It's something I had to work on. I just think you're anti, man.
My mother was pretty much keeping the lights on.
When trials come, that is when you get to understand the level of someone's commitment.
Because I'm thinking about all the answer from my totally 100% biased point of view, no. I don't think.
I know you're gonna say that.
I don't think the people.
Surprise.
I don't think the people. And don't get me wrong. I don't think the people who are championing this kind of content and this kind of conversation are willing to take a seat and do some introspection and actually think, am I a woman who is worth all of the things I'm expecting of a man? Like, am I there? Am I ready to be a wife to this husband that I'm asking for? Because again, you're asking for, you know, a model man. Is an ideal. So are you an ideal that matches that ideal? And I don't think a lot of people challenge themselves when they have these expectations. They don't look and say, and I mean, a lot of men do it too, you know.
I must admit, I agree with you. Wow, that's,
you know, like, well, so I apologize for being right.
Yeah, I apologize to myself. Like, what? No, what's going on?
Oh, because, and here's the thing. I mean, yes, the focus we have right now is women's expectations because these are the questions, but men do the same thing because Omavi had mentioned before about the guys who watch Kevin Samuels. Most of the guys who watch Kevin Samuels ain't shit.
Okay, I like where this conversation going.
No, but that's the reality. Like, Kevin Samuels is speaking about a specific caliber of man. Kevin Samuels is speaking about a man who is established, a man who is wealthy, a man who already got everything he wanted in life. And now he just wants a wife. And this man is not 25 to 30. This man is not 35 to... This is a man who is probably 40-something, 50-something. And he is there. Like, you know, he don't even have to look at his money making money for him. That's when he said a high value man. This is a man with zeros, a mile of zeros after, you know, on his portfolio. The man who have Apple stock, you know, man who invests in, you know, that's the man you're talking about. Not Gershwin. You're not talking about me.
You're not talking about the average. And what happened, what we were saying, Gian, is that I don't really think that the content itself is bad from Kevin Samuels. What I think is the interpretation, because you have a lot of broken men looking at these things, looking for an endorsement. So it's like Kevin say a woman who have children and worth nothing, and they run with that, and that's just a reflection of their own hearts, and they just Kevin Samuels just articulate, but the context in where Kevin may be talking about maybe something completely different.
Correct.
You know?
For me, one of the things, and that's why I agree with Gershwin on it, is a lot of people have trauma from childhood. They have issues. Men have issues with their mom growing up. Women have issues with their fathers growing up. And some of that translates into how they relate when they start to date people. So when they have these gurus and these relationship experts now talking against the other sex or whatever, they just jump on that because, again, as you said, it's a reflection of they already hate men based on traumas and things that they have. So they don't even see a good, strong male figure in their life, so they can't even conceive that. So it's very easy to jump onto the all men are trash line. And you see, men have a lot of anger towards their moms for certain reasons, and that's why they can't even, you know.
And you actually see it on some of the programs, on Kevin Samuel programs, because when he's pulling up on men and telling men, he's like, "No, you're on shit." It's a whole, like, men that, like, they just be so silent. It's like they're so shocked. Like, me, I thought I was in. It's like, no, my brother.
Because Kevin Samuels treats, and this is from the clips I've seen, because I mean his show is really long and ain't nobody got time for that. But from the clips I've seen where he's interacting with men, he's interacting with women. First of all, these are people who are calling Kevin Samuels. Kevin
Those
Samuels
I think are staged, but
but Kevin Samuels don't just sit there and be like, bitches ain't shit. And
no.
you know.
But I think okay, go ahead. Sorry, love.
So people are calling him and he's like, okay, hello, what's your name? This is my new perfume. How are you? Okay, so what are you looking for? How old are you? Yes, 35. Do you have any kids? 2 kids. Where's their baby daddy? You're not with him anymore. Why? He ain't shit. So you're saying that you had sex with a man who ain't shit. And and like he feeds off of what they are saying and so on. But a man called and he asked the man the exact same questions. The man called and the man said, I think women should approach me. He said, okay, tell me about yourself. How tall are you? About 5'6", 5'7". Also, you're 5'5". How much do you weigh? About 280 to 300. Also, you're a big boy. You got a big dick? And I was like, whoa.
I saw that clip.
Right. And it's the same energy. It's just the reality is more women are calling Kevin Samuels and going viral than men are calling Kevin Samuels and going viral.
Yeah.
So it skews the
I don't
narrative.
like these guru things. But going back to the question, the original question, don't forget that.
Would I pick me as I am right now? Yes. Yes, I would. Because of what I'm working towards.
No, because this is not the best version of me. So, no.
I would pick myself as I am right now. Yes, obviously, everybody have things they need to work on. Nobody's perfect. But I would pick me.
I don't think I would. I don't think I'm a bad person. I just know that I'm not the best. Well, I'm not where I want to be yet.
Now, yes, in terms of all the growth, I'm a much better person. And I would say no, in the sense that I feel like at the moment right now, my focus is purely on career. So you will not get 100% attention from me.
But
Going
a lot
back
of
to the
people.
original question of would you date you? For me, I think people don't ask that question enough. And if people being honest with themselves, and I appreciate the women who said no, because they're being frank that they wouldn't date themselves at such time because they know they're not where they need to be. It's really the case of answering yes or no, and then are you willing to do the work to get there? And most people aren't gonna be 100% where they need to be.
I want to know.
Because the journey always changes and growth happens and life puts you in all different directions and each experience is going to carry you to one place. But at the same time, you need to be able to demand certain things that you could demand of yourself. And that's why I agree with Gershwin. The accountability, the self-accountability is not there at all. Everybody just wants a fairy tale, but we're not really there yet. Well, a lot of people aren't.
Okay, Michael, would you date yourself?
Me for sure.
Really?
Sure. I would date myself for sure.
I'm so surprised.
I'm so surprised. No, it's true. For me, I am very honest with myself about where I was. I would say a few months ago, I was going through some stuff emotionally that at the time I would not have been with me. But I did a lot of work on myself and I've done a lot of work, internal work, and really kind of figured out certain things. And I've improved a lot that I feel proud of myself. So I would date me for sure.
I also think there's a disconnect with what men think women want and with what women think men are looking for.
Yes, because of social media too.
Because I think men, a lot of men, especially a lot of younger men who start to come to the gym and so on, a lot of them think like women want a man with the body as well as the, as well as the house and the white picket fence and all the money in the bank and so on. They want a man who looks like Dwayne Johnson. But Dwayne Johnson is not on television for women to look at. He's on television for men to look at. Because women don't come to talk to you in the gym. It's always some guy who's smaller than you who wants to know, how did you do it?
Yeah.
So, and I think we don't have conversations with each other about what we honestly care about. I think men confirm for men what they think women want, and women confirm for women what they think men want.
And you
No,
see,
that's
that's
a
the
good point.
problem.
Yeah?
Isn't that why
That's
me and
a,
you argue all the time? Because I told you what I want as a woman, and you fight me down on the point of what I want as a
no, but
woman.
that's a good point that you make, eh? In terms of men confirm and women confirm. The truth is, it is actually supposed to be like that. And men validate men and women validate women. That is how it is supposed to be. The issue is when you have broken people trying to validate in
Each other.
yeah, trying to validate each other or trying to validate somebody who's influential. That's why, you know, we always talk about with young boys. I work with a lot of young boys in homes and stuff. And their background story has always been one of violence. And so they become a statistic of repetitive or repeating that you talk to women and they have a history of granny single, mommy single, auntie single. I'm a daughter, and we don't want no man. You don't need no man because it's a powerful house with women. No, you're laughing, but that is the truth.
No, that's the truth.
The strong black woman is hurting black women.
And let me tell you something. Family, since primary school, we've been learning how important family is one of the epicenters of society. The last podcast we had when I was home in Trinidad, I made a statement like, dog, I will not for this gender wars thing and thing. It don't make no sense. You legit have to learn to love and be in harmony. Yeah, when I went to Cuba in 2019 to my first treatment, my nurses who were on the ward with me, they are specialized nurses in chemotherapy. And let me tell you, class, I think it's because of social media and Trinidad, for example, and I guess a lot of the Western world, we have a real classist mentality when looking at relationships. But these nurses in Cuba, she's like, my husband is a butcher and I love him. I love him. She's making way more money than him. She loves him. And next one, her boyfriend is a taxi driver. And I just how it is, and not because he isn't bright. A lot of the taxi drivers and they had like physics degree and stuff, just work hard to get. But Cuba produces academics and ship them out. So yeah, the way we look at things, a relationship, like social media really mess up how we
social media is the problem.
And if you I remember when I was dating the other one, and this is recent 2017, my ex-girlfriend, we used to have so much guys before I bought my car and stuff like that. We used to have so much fun traveling and going places or hiring our car and stuff. Because that was not important. We didn't have to meet a criteria. Your man had to have a car, your man had to pick you up. And no, where there's a will, there's a way. Our trajectory, we used to have a good time. We dress up nice, we whatever. I hire the car, come and pick, and that is it. And we have a good time. And it was nothing, it was simple. Now we live in a generation where people just have more and access to more, but they don't really know the value of a lot of things. So they devalue, undervalue a lot of things because of privilege, and that seeps into the relationships and just the whole dating dynamic. People date people for real shippiness. Real shippiness like gold chain. I remember I used to be a joke long time, but I see a thing. Somebody you're dealing, somebody can have a gold chain then.
That'll be tick so.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that point. Social media. The way our social media is now is people are feeding into the influencers, they're feeding into the celebrities, and they're looking at the things that these celebrities do for their partners, and they're trying to mimic that same thing with somebody who is making 1/100th of what these celebrities are making, or not even on that path. There's also a big promotion of American culture. And American culture, when you strip it down, is credit. So a lot of times you could go on TV and you could show yourself, I'm 18 with a car. What are you doing? But credit, we can't get a car like that at 18 in Trinidad and Tobago. So whereas you see a 20-year-old with a BMW and an apartment, and you're thinking, oh my God, I need to do that. The housing market is different here, the loan market. Banks don't give you credit cards the way how they give. They don't give student loans the way how they give in America. So a lot of people are lost, really. And then there's the culture of, again, the influencer culture. People are obsessed with the jets and the handbags and the designer and all these different things. And then you have, again, the influencers who are who are giving them that and encouraging them in a sense where they're not even realistic. So they're showing them, hey, this man, this is my sugar daddy. He bought me this, and that. So now young girls are looking at it as, I want a sugar daddy too. But nobody's having a holistic conversation about, okay, my sugar daddy gave me this, but he also used to beat me. He also used to treat me like this. He never I couldn't go out. He was controlling. Nobody's given that talk. And again, it goes back to introspection. So when you grow up in a household, as Omabi was saying, with women who are strong because, not because they want to be, but because they didn't have that man figure, that assistance, and they had to be strong by default, they don't tell you, well, I had to be strong, but to be honest, I would have preferred this. And tell young girls now, to be strong, be independent, but also understand you need help, and also showing them the value of that help. Humans tend to kind of gloss over sometimes weaknesses because you don't want to look weak. So you don't have holistic conversations about what is healthy. You just say, well, I was strong and I didn't need no man. And young girls don't know, so they just run with that. And they don't realize that you would have liked help and you would have appreciated somebody there to assist you, a man there that could comfort you and would do certain things that you wouldn't want to do. But nobody wants to really reflect on that because it's uncomfortable to talk about these things.
And there's also the resentment that they might have had for the man that they are using in their interactions with their children, you know?
Correct.
So they
and
are.
same thing with women, yeah? Men do it with women too. A lot of people, this is perfect, is broken people advising other broken people. And until we do introspection individually, we will get carried away. I've been carried away as a young girl based on social media, based on things that women would have told me, older women would have told me. And I really had to kind of assess myself because I might have been this, that, and then I realized that that's not life, and that's not how I want my life to look like.
I remember one of the things that happened and made me respect my mom years ago when mom and dad had separated. I was in standard 5. That was the last class of common entry. And they separated. But if it's one thing, no matter how much bad treatment, no matter how much mommy had to put dad in court of mine or something, she always used to say, that is your father, love him, go and check your father, go and talk to your father. She always, and that the level of respect, because she going through hard times, but she also understands that, yo, this is not about me, this is about my children. You understand? And I like this, we don't really think legacy when we're dealing with certain things. And I was telling Gershwin today, like for me personally, most of my friends now, who I consider friends now, they're married or they're in a serious relationship because I try to cultivate and curate my pattern away from just the bullshit that there's be floating around, you understand? And it is very, very good. You get to understand, because I wasn't fortunate enough to grow up with 2 parents and the marriage and stuff like that. And it is something as I get older, I desire it. Not because I get older and I want to get married. It's just because I'm very big on legacy and family. Family has always been a big thing of mine. To have a family of my own. It's always been. Even before I got sick and I came to the hospital, I was doing some renovation on my home. And I was making plans, drawing plans to add on 2 rooms because I was like, you know what? One day I might have children. You know, that kind of thing now.
Yeah, it's not that way.
That's how I generally think now. And it is because I made a conscious effort to unlearn a lot of the things that has been, placed in our vision, and then we get blinders, so that's all we see. That's all we see.